Hey everyone, this is Andrew from Cars on the Rocks, and today we're going to be going through my 2025 driver helmet ratings. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So how the ratings are going to work is we're going to start off with the rookies and move on down the grid. We're going to go using a rating system that is starting off with stunning at the absolute best and absolute garbaggio at the bottom. We're going to put them together and see how this goes. Now, we're going to start off with Jack Doohan. He's coming into this year, his rookie season, with this black, red, and blue helmet with a little bit of white in between. The stars going along the side, paying homage to his father's MotoGP helmet with his own little twist to it. I do like the color combination. This isn't anything spectacular to me. It also doesn't seem to be anything near garbage. It reminds me of Evel Knievel. However, it's not anything too insanely special. So I put it in average for now. Next up from the rookies, we have Liam Lawson. He's coming to this season using a design that I believe he's used before. He's got the Red Bull logo with this white and pink surrounding it. A little bit of a pattern around the chin area. He's got the New Zealand silver fern at the top. This helmet doesn't really do anything for me.
I think it's good, except it sucks.
Pink is a good color. I think when it's used right, it can be great in a helmet. The Red Bull logo is very iconic and sticks out very well, but I don't think the white and the pink really sticks with this Red Bull logo. I do think that it could be worse, though, so I am going to put it in the could be worse category. It's not absolute garbage for me. However, I do believe that Liam could have a better design for this. We've seen a few people, Sergio Perez and Max both be able to utilize that Red Bull logo within their helmets and sync them very well. This is just not for me, so it's going to go in could be worse. Next up, we have Oliver Bearman coming in for his first season for Haas. I'm really not a fan of this helmet. The color combination just really doesn't do it for me. Blue, neon yellow, black around the chin kind of pops, but then again, the MoneyGram logo with the red, I don't feel like goes with it. The bear on top, I do like his logo, but it does seem to be just a kind of a worse version of Max's lion. It's got kind of the same feel to it. I personally just think he would have been better off using his helmet that he used last year in Brazil when he drove for Haas. I mean, it makes sense because he had the red bear on top, the white, black, and red surrounding it as the colorway just to match Haas. It made more sense. But this year, I'm just not a fan of this helmet. However, it really could be worse, but it's very, very much towing on the line of garbaggio, in my opinion. Moving on up next, we have Isack Hadjar coming into the Visa Cash App Racing Bulls, which they decided to confirm very much so in F1 75, He's coming in with this purplish and neon yellow helmet with the Red Bull logo on the side. It's got some actually really interesting kind of space paint with some formulas, it looks like, within the actual neon yellow in the back along the neck. It's an all right helmet. I like the logo that he has, the 6 with the actual like atoms around it, the protons. It looks pretty cool, but it doesn't do too much more than the Bearman helmet, in my opinion. I think the color combination is just slightly better. The purple and the neon yellow kind of gives me Lewis Hamilton vibes when he had that same color combination, but it's a little bit too much for me. The Red Bull logo pops, but it doesn't really go well with everything else. It's not really getting towards average. I can see how people might like this one, but it's just really not doing it for me. So it's going to go and could be worse. All right, next up on the list is Gabriel Bortoleto coming in to his rookie season with Steak, Sauber, Kick, whatever you want to call them. This helmet is really, really nice. I love the Senna look. Coming in as the only Brazilian driver on the grid, sporting a Senna-like helmet is just iconic. It looks beautiful. I think the placement of some of the sponsors are very good. The Kit Kat kind of sticks out a little bit too much. It doesn't really fit. That's the only thing. Along with that kind of large block halo of white, those are really the only two things that I have, I guess you would say, an issue with this helmet, which is keeping it from going into the stunning category. But I think this is really, really good. I know he's used this kind of motif previously, but it's perfect. And that's why Gabriel Bortoleto's helmet is going in real nice this season. And last but not least, for the rookies, we have Kimi Antonelli. I hate to say this. I absolutely hate this helmet.
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
The colors are awful. I don't think the red, green, blue, black, white, there's way too much going on with the colors. It doesn't, to me, look very cohesive. It doesn't look very smooth. It looks very, very jumbled together. The CrowdStrike logo, the multiple CrowdStrike logos, for some reason, I don't know why. I can't stand that. Just have one, leave some more space, leave some more open white. It might make it a little bit better, but there's very little about this helmet that I find appealing. The Mercedes logo is in the proper spot, Petronas on the front. The Adidas logo on the helmet actually is a nice addition. I think the Adidas addition to Mercedes was a good partnership. However, it adds nothing. I think this helmet is very bad. It lacks any appeal. It doesn't look good, and I'm going to have a hard time looking at it when it's going around the track. It's going in garbaggio. It's to me, it's absolute garbage. Sorry, Mercedes fans. I'm sorry, Kimi fans, but it's not for me. Moving on from the rookies, it's time to talk about Esteban Ocon. Now, I absolutely love this helmet. I think it is, to me, almost perfect. The black red with a little bit of white really looks amazing.
Okay, so
So good. It is so good.
I think the 31, the change to the side of his helmet design, is a wonderful addition. I thought his previous helmets did not have any flow. It really lacked that. This, with the 31, looks great. It has amazing flow to it. The amount of red compared with the black background looks incredible. You have the Eiffel Tower logo on the top with the 31. Perfect placement. The placement of the actual sponsors is really good too. The MoneyGram looks amazing in all white up the top. This to me is one of the best helmets easily in the entire grid this season. I can't wait to see it on the track. It looks amazing with the suit. Every picture that I've seen is stunning. I absolutely have to put this in stunning. There's no way, shape, or form around it. I love this helmet. Esteban, good on you. Good job. This helmet is stunning. Next up on the list is Oscar Piastri. This helmet's really, really nice. I have to admit, I did not like his previous helmet from the last 2 years very much. I thought that there was an overuse of the color blue. It didn't leave any pockets for relief. It was very jumbled. I liked the Australian flag. I kind of liked the yellow and orange color combination, but there was way too much blue. This year, he's stripped back almost all of the blue, except for the Australian flag, of course, and the lines between each of the colors. I think this helmet looks much, much better. It allows the Monster logo to pop out a little bit more because it was kind of muddied by the blue around it. The visor he also changed. He changed it from like that blue tinted visor to a red and orange pinkish tinted visor, which I think makes the helmet much more cohesive in my opinion. And it looks a lot more mean, which maybe is not what Oscar was going for, but I like the relief of black in between. And because of that, it has to go in real nice. I like this helmet a lot. Good job, Oscar. Rolling in next, we have everybody's favorite golden boy, everybody's favorite driver, Lance Stroll at Aston Martin. There's really nothing much to say about this helmet. It's green. I like the Aston Martin racing green. It looks good. That's the only thing about it that I enjoy. Everything else to me, there's nothing special about this. It
stinks.
Lance's helmets have always been really plain to me. I think even last year's was a little bit better. I think for some reason I remember him having a wing along the side. Absolutely nothing to me that's really appealing. It's not absolute trash. It definitely could be worse. So I am going to put it in could be worse, but never anything going on for me here. I think Lance could do a lot better with his helmets. I just don't think he really cares to do that much. Maybe he doesn't have the personality enough for it. Who knows? But it's nothing for me. Could be worse. Up next, we have Yuki Tsunoda. He's coming back again with his Japanese maple motif, which I very much enjoy. I do think that this year, it's a little bit of a downgrade from his previous iterations of it. There's a lot more white open space, which it seems to make sense with the livery that they're going with. However, there's a lot less of the maple leaf design on it. It's a little bit more open, which looks clean, and I can understand that some may enjoy this more. However, I really did enjoy the actual look of his previous ones last year with the dark blue behind it, and then the one before that with the AlphaTauri logo, and it was a little bit more of the leaves with the white. I just think it pops a little bit more, and it's definitely a unique design that's extremely unique to Yuki. I do enjoy it a lot. However, it's not anything more than average in my opinion. Last year's I would have probably put it in really nice towards the end, more towards average. But this year, I think I'm going to have to put this one on the higher end of average. Coming in next, we've got the champ, Max Verstappen. I personally think this helmet is stunning. I love a lot of his helmet designs. I think the base design that he used with homage to his father, Jost, I think is a really, really clean design.
Like, bro, I love it.
Especially when applied with these colors, that bright Red Bull blue with the reds and the whites, leaving it with just that, I think allows it to pop so well. He added a little bit of red to that triangle right beneath the Red Bull, the actual bull itself, on towards the back of the helmet. The 4 stars obviously look amazing. I think it's a great addition to the helmet every single time. Anytime you can add another star, why not? It's beautiful. The lion on top, I think, is always amazing. And the Red Bull at the front, the Heineken logo, without having to use any green from that, is great. They just use the straight blue to match everything else. And I think this is leading the pack right now and stunning. It definitely is more clean than Esteban's. I do love Max's helmets a lot of the time. I do collect a lot of his Miami ones, and it's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Up next, we have Lando Norris. He's coming back using a very similar motif to what he did last year. The neon yellow with the blobs surrounding, whatever you want to call them. I think this helmet design is really, really cool. It's really interesting. It's very much unique to Lando. He's the only one that's even come close to a design like this. I really liked this design last year when he came out with it. As you can see, I have the little mini here with me. I do plan on getting the one from this year. I do think this one is a little less appealing, just slightly less appealing than last year. Just the blobs seem more chaotic. They're a little bit more, I guess, jumbled than they were last year. Last year seemed a little bit more clean. Reminded me almost of like leopard print to a certain extent. Obviously not anywhere near close color-wise, but the style of the actual blobs reminded me somewhat of that. I do think that this year it is still a really, really nice helmet. I don't think it's as nice as Oscar's. I don't think it's as nice as Gabriel's. However, I do find this to be a really, really nice helmet. So it's going to go in really, really nice. Coming up now, we have Nico Hulkenberg with Stake F1. I can't help but say this helmet's horrible. This helmet is really horrible. I've never liked his design.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
The stars going along seem way too chaotic for me. Hulkenberg going down the side just seems like it's thrown in there and slapped on without even any thought. The color combination is a little bit better than he's had in previous seasons, but only because that stake green kind of looks cool just because it's new and unique, but there's nothing appealing to this helmet for me. It's going straight into Garbaggio, straight in there, never leaving. Nico, step your helmet game up, please. It's garbage. Next up, we have George Russell. He's coming back with this blue helmet that he's had from previous years. I mean, I can't say anything more than it's just average to me. The blue is just slapped all throughout the entire helmet with little bits of break. The 63 doesn't really pop to me at all. It looks okay. It's not anywhere near close to where Stroll and Liam Lawson and them are. I think it could be definitely better. So that's why I'm sticking it at an average. I don't think it's as good as Yuki's, but I do find it a little bit more appealing than Jack's. It's very clean. It's just not anything special to me. So it's going to go on average. All right, next up we have Fernando Alonso with Aston Martin. I've always found his design of this helmet to be really, really good. I think this is what Oscar Piastri could have done with this helmet if he had made it cleaner. They're pretty much the same exact colors as Oscar's helmets from last year. Obviously, this is Fernando's color scheme previous to Oscar. However, This is just a really clean version of it, in my opinion. The yellow with the blue and the orange, for some reason, just works really well with this helmet. I don't think that it's as good as Oscar's helmet this year. The black really breaks it up and makes it a little bit better. However, I do find this helmet to be really, really nice. I know some people I've heard don't really like this yellow too much. The city block on top is somewhat unappealing to some people. I don't find it offensive at all. This is a really nice helmet. So it's going to go there. Now we have Alexander Albon with Williams. This helmet is amazing.
Nice.
Last year, when he changed his color scheme and he changed it to this darker blue with the pink, I thought it was perfect for him. I mean, this matte kind of look really sets it off. The pink pops off of the blue. He has his new AA logo, which looks really, really good on the side of the helmet. I think he changed the size of it. It was a little bit bigger last year, was more prominent. He changed the actual pattern of the pink within the helmet too, which I really, really do enjoy. The Duracell across the front with the MyProtein is really unique to Williams, and I love it. I really do think this design's incredible. You got the Atlassian at the top that they added this year. Komatsu up at the top of the actual helmet dome with a little bit of different blue that fades into it. I think this helmet's stunning. Alex did a really good job of designing this with his team, and it is even better this year than it is last year. So it has to go in stunning. It's not as good as Ocon's helmet, in my opinion. However, this is absolutely stunning. Coming in next, we have Sir Lewis Hamilton. I'm probably going to get a decent amount of slack for this, but I find this helmet just average. It's on the best of the average list, but I don't find this to be anything more than that.
I mean, it's all right. Like, overrated as fuck, in my opinion. I mean,
I think it's just a ton of yellow. Obviously, it's his previous design with the stars on the side, the actual streaks going along, but there's just a ton of yellow slapped on this with a little bit of red stripes in between. I think this only looks good because obviously he's with Ferrari, which is super exciting, but I just don't think this looks as nice as I guess what other people think, or just in general. I don't find this to be anything incredible. It's a little bit too much for me. I think if he put a little bit of more red to break it in there, I think it would have been a lot better. If he put them in the streaks, maybe, that to me could have made the helmet better. This is just average to me, nothing more than that. You know, noticing now, looking through the pictures, seeing the HP logo slapped with that white little bar, breaking up the yellow along the middle, to me, it just looks horrendous. You know, leave it to HP to ruin another thing so far, you know. They haven't done Ferrari any favors. Who's to say they're going to do it now? But Lewis Hamilton, average, and I think that's going to be the best of it so far. Okay, with two more drivers remaining, let's look at the helmet of the Frenchman Pierre Gasly for Alpine this season. I find this helmet to be horrendous. The blue is maybe the only redeeming quality. However, he decided to ruin it with this camouflage. I'm not sure if this is actually going to be his first race helmet because I think he was holding a contest for designs. But if this is going to be the helmet that he's going to use for most of the season, I find it horrible. The camouflage doesn't do any favors. It has white streaks essentially going through it to break it up, but it really doesn't do anything anyway. There's black on the bottom with the sponsorship logo that I don't think needs to be there. If you just had the white going all the way through, it would have looked a lot better, in my opinion. It wouldn't have saved this helmet, but it would have done it at least somewhat of a service. Instead of this, to me, it stinks. It really does stink. It's absolute garbage.
This is the worst.
I'm sorry, Pierre Gasly, but this helmet is going in garbage 1,000%. It's not as bad as Kimi's, and it's not as bad as Hulk's, in my opinion. That may be an unpopular opinion, but it is what it is. I think this is still horrible. It's garbage. Well, you're going to have to excuse the change in scenery. Obviously, daytime rather than nighttime. Apparently, my computer decided to delete the one video that I took for this next driver, which is Carlos Sainz, coming into his first year with Williams. I have to say that his helmet is gorgeous, in my opinion. I was a little bit nervous when he transitioned from Ferrari to Williams that his Spanish flag motif might not really work as well with the Williams blue. However, this is actually a really nice helmet. It reminds me a lot of the Superman colorway, which growing up with comics, it is really nice color combination in my opinion, very recognizable. It stands out, it pops. The new Williams blue with the Atlassian looks really, really good. I'm a big fan of the car as well. I think it's going to look really great in the car. There are a few things similar to Alex's helmet that really make this helmet for me. The Duracell with the MyProtein across the visor is really, really good. There's no muddying of sponsors. They're all put in very proper places. The backside of it doesn't have too much going on. It's just a Spanish flag streaked all the way across to connect the other side. I think it's a very, very nice helmet. There's not much in terms of anything incredibly special, putting it in stunning. However, I do think this is going to be one of those helmets that people will look back and say it stands out more than others. And I think Carlos is also just going to be really fast this year. So that might have something to do with people liking this helmet in general. But I am a huge fan of it. It's going to go in really nice. It is better than Lando's and better than Fernando's. Definitely not better than Gabriel's. So we're going to put it right in the middle of the real nice section, and it's going to sit right there. Last but not least on this list for the helmet rankings, my personal favorite of the entire year, it's going to Charles Leclerc. This helmet is stunning. It is absolutely amazing.
Dear God, it's beautiful.
He has taken his previous designs using that monogas red and white, which goes with Ferrari perfectly well. The red up top with the white at the bottom. It reminds me of his Monaco helmets from previous years, just combined with his old regular season style helmet. I like that he changed the 16 too. It looks really good popping with that little bit of black outline around it with the red surrounding it as well. He put some of the logos on the back within the actual, I'm not sure what they call this, but the actual wind deflector itself to keep it from having to go on the side. I think that looks really, really good. The CL16 on the back is another really nice touch. And then how could you not love the Papa and Jules additions on the back, almost behind his ear in the helmet along the neckline? It is a beautiful helmet. I love this helmet so much. It beats out Max's, which was hard for me to pick. I was between Max and Charles for a long time trying to figure out which one I liked more. And Charles is it. It's the best helmet of the season, in my opinion. It's very clean. You don't need much more than this. It's hard to beat it. It's going to look really good in the car. To me, there's very little, if nothing, wrong about this helmet. It's going to go at the top, very top of stunning, and it's going to stay there. I really can't wait to see how this looks on track and to see everybody's specialty helmets throughout the season. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be very, very exciting. Now, those were my 2025 driver helmet ratings for the year. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I would appreciate you guys leaving your opinions in the comments below, letting me know what you think of my ratings, letting me know your opinions as well. Like and subscribe. Anything would be greatly appreciated. But until next time, thank you guys for stopping by. Cheers, be good to yourself, and have a good one. Bye.